If you're thinking about starting a pest control business in 2026, or you already have one and you feel stuck, this video might be uncomfortable for you. And that's exactly why you need to watch it, because anyone can get licensed in this industry, anyone can start a company in this industry, and just about anybody can build their business up enough to, I guess, replace their income as a technician or even as a salesman at a larger pest control company. But very few people are actually building a real business. With AI, competition, and consolidation accelerating, the window to start and grow your pest control business into a real company is closing much faster than people realize. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you are and whether or not starting a pest control business or trying to grow a pest control business is actually for you in 2026. And of course, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Griffin Thomas. I own the company you see right here on the shirt, Preferred Pest Management, in the Dallas, Texas area. We've been in business just over 5 years now, and on my channel overall, I just kind of document my entire business and investing journey, the good, the bad, the ugly, which leads me to my next point, which is, don't get me wrong, I've had every chance and I've taken advantage of every chance to make every mistake possible when starting my pest control business. But the one thing that I did absolutely right that I would never go back on is, instead of growing a business that had to go out and chase customers, I've grown a business that has actually had customers chasing us. This video isn't hype. This video isn't theory. This is from my real life experience. Here's a reality no one really likes to admit about this industry. There are two very different paths. Path number one, the comfortable route owner, we'll call it. And this is where most people end up. They end up solo, maybe with one tech or a part-time 1099 guy on the side at the most. You're busy all the time. You're making, like we said, decent money, but you're doing just about everything. And with that, you take literally all the responsibility. You are the marketing department. You are the sales department. You are the technician in a lot of cases. You are the office support for all of your customers. And the moment you stop working, most of the time your business stops working and stops making money. And I want to be clear, there's nothing wrong with this path, but don't get it twisted. This is not entrepreneurship. This is not owning a business. This is self-employment, owning a job. Path number two, of course, is the builder. And of course, this is the harder path depending on how you look at it. This is the operator turned into owner and thinks in years and decades down the road versus in months. It's the one who learns uncomfortable skills to the point that it feels like you're beating your head against the wall just to learn a tiny ounce of information that can grow your business just 1 extra percent. It's the one who invests early and often back into their business instead of having lifestyle creep. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, I have a video about my own experience with lifestyle creep about 2 years ago. I'll try to remember to link in the description, but if you've been following for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the person who sacrifices short-term comfort for long-term control. And of course, this is the person who is building an asset, not building a job. And chances are, if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you already know which one you are. And if you're one of those that wants to continue to grow like us in 2026, here's the playbook. Let's address this one first. Door-to-door still works in 2026. To a lot of technicians turned business owners, this is kind of seen as the black sheep of growing your business. But it has always worked. It will continue to work. It works in any economy. It forces you to learn sales very fast if you've been a technician your whole life, but most importantly, it creates instant cash flow. But here's the truth. Door knocking is meant to be a tool, not a destination. We're building a pest control business, not a door knocking business. So if you build systems around it and hire reps who are essentially little mini yous running around selling contracts, it becomes leverage in your business. Door knocking in and of itself is not the problem. You staying the door knocker forever, that, just like being the technician forever, is the problem. Next up, all reliable Google local service ads. And local service ads are powerful, but they can definitely be misunderstood. They seem to bring in two different types of leads. Ones that are super hot, easy to sell, just money printing leads, or just complete shit. And because of this, you run on tight margins, especially on like the initial services if you're just selling pest control. You can't afford to be the cheapest company and sell cheap pest control services, otherwise you're literally going to lose money. You really don't even want to offer like one-time services outside of obviously big ticket items like termite jobs, bed bug jobs, and even these are going to be expensive leads. Local service ads work best whenever you have long-term service contracts, you upsell the big ticket items like we were talking about with be it termite programs, a bed bug program, maybe a German cockroach program, get referrals, which leads into the next point, that you have a built back-end sales process that can not just lead to upsells, but potentially potentially even referral selling, where you set up a specific referral system where these customers are now sending customers to you. You can do email marketing, you can do SMS marketing. There's so many things you can do. Of course, we'll dive into that as we continue to develop and implement a lot of this in our own business as well. The bottom line is, if you don't, these will feel unprofitable because they are. But if you do, they will at least become a source of predicted volume, which leads to the next one, of course, Google ads themselves. And if you don't know the difference between Google local service ads versus traditional Google ads, long story short, Google local service ads are ads that are placed at the top for service businesses specifically, which is kind of like a Google guaranteed type of program. Again, just kind of summarizing it for you guys. While traditional Google ads are the search engine ads. Of course, nowadays you can be everywhere in Gmail and everything else. We just do traditional Google search ads personally. But Google ads, even in 2026, is still one of the fastest way to grow your business, but it's also the fastest way to burn money and lose money in your business. This is still the quickest way to buy customer data, but it's also one of the most expensive ways to learn marketing. And most business owners quit before they actually understand it, just like a lot of things in business. And it's not Google ads that don't work, it's just that you, or most people I should say, don't stay in the game long enough to master it. But if you're willing to learn how to do conversion tracking, tracking your phone calls, and how to set up this tracking software in the first place, optimize landing pages, how to even create a landing page in the first place. And no, a landing page is not the home page to your website. Learn things like conversion psychology, then it is by far one of the most scalable channels that you can have on the internet for your business still in 2026. While we're on the topic of all these different internet sources to get customers, let's dive into SEO in 2026. And this is where most people are wrong. AI didn't kill SEO. AI rewarded businesses and continues to reward businesses that actually know what the hell they're doing in SEO. SEO today means not just Google search, not just the Google Map Pack, but tools like Perplexity, ChatGPT, Google AI overviews. But guess what the dirty little secret is about AI SEO? All of this still pulls from the traditional sources: your website, your Google business profile, your overall online authority. Sound familiar? Because that's still SEO. But don't get me wrong, local SEO is still arguably the best tactic to grow a home service business, specifically pest control business, in 2026. Real service pages, real local content specifically, real answers to questions that humans are asking specifically, not just the basic searches like pest control near me, who's the best pest control company. This is the traffic that will actually compound and get you shown up in these AI tools. I shouldn't even be telling you guys this because a lot of the competition hasn't even caught on yet. And the best thing about it is, like, paid ads, for example, Google ads, Google local service ads, Facebook ads, any type of ads, they are going to stop the moment you stop paying. But like we've talked about before in other videos, SEO works while you're on a job site, while you're in a network meeting, while you're sleeping, while you're in Hawaii chilling out with your family. So we do not want to sleep on SEO in 2026. Next up, which is one that I highly underrated myself and am just now, after 5 years, I should say 4 because I started around year 4 getting into, is joining networking groups. And these can be, of course, some of the traditional ones like BNI groups, Chamber of Commerce groups, but it doesn't stop there. There are so many, if you look online, just different local business groups that are in every single type of town. We're not even talking just big metroplexes, we're also talking even rural towns. And the thing with this is, you're not looking to buy leads, you're looking to build trust in the community, because one good referral partnership can literally outperform most ads. If I were to give any points of advice for anyone joining these networking groups, it would be start early. Like I said, I didn't really start until about year 3, year 4 in my business. Be consistent, think about others more than yourself, and play the long game. Speaking of building trust in your community, get active in your community. Because don't get me wrong, people a lot of times will go with the cheapest company, but you're probably not trying to attract those customers. You're wanting to attract the customers that see your value and recognize you out in public. So obviously do some of the things we've talked about in the past. Of course, join every single local Facebook group. Don't spam them, for the love of God, but join all of them that you can join and be active in them. Sponsor everything: community events, softball teams, basketball teams, gymnastics tournaments. The whole thing we're going with here is building brand awareness, building brand trust. And by the way, with a lot of these sponsorships, you can build backlinks to your website too. Again, think outside the box. This builds your brand and builds your brand trust before people ever need you. So then when pests show up, guess who's going to be the one that gets the call? But let me be very clear. If you're not willing to work early mornings, work late nights, work weekends early on, don't just learn the skills that you're bad at, but master them, delay your gratification, and be uncomfortable pretty much forever, then starting a pest control business probably isn't worth it. And by the way, that's totally okay. Like, I'm adopting this mindset that, like, obviously not everybody is cut out to own a business. But what's not okay is, like, if you have this burning desire, like I always did from the moment I joined the workforce when I was like 15, 16 years old, that you would literally rather die than go back to working for somebody else, then do not join this game. But don't get me wrong, because if you're willing to do all these things that we're talking about, the pest control industry is absolutely one of the best industries to get into in 2026, specifically as a new business owner. And I should reiterate, that window is still wide open, but it is closing very quickly because, of course, AI is accelerating. And I know a lot of people, blue collar workers think it's not coming for you all. It is coming. With that, competition is increasing at a much more rapid pace than ever before. And most importantly, which a lot of people avoid talking about, the middle is disappearing. Either you're going to be at the bottom or you're going to be at the top. There is no middle. There is no middle class anymore. So either way, you better decide now. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, then be that. Don't just be that though. Be the best. And if you have that burning desire to be an entrepreneur, then again, strive every day to be the best. Whatever you do, do not drift, because with this AI just continuing to advance week by week, there's going to be a huge number of people that just get wiped out of the workforce. And of course, we'll get into that more in a whole nother deep video. And by the way, if you want to learn how companies like ours generate over 1,000 leads per year, over 3 leads per day on average, without knocking on a single door like we were talking about earlier in the video, make sure to watch this video. It should be either over here, somewhere over here, and I'll see you guys over there.